Okay, so we've looked at one poster, we've looked at the Katy Perry poster, and we've thought about image, colour scheme, shot type, and meaning. So let's have a look at a very different example, and I'll do the same thing, but this time we'll look at a different way of approaching it. So on the second cover, we've got it's Billboard magazine, music magazine, and it's Billie Eilish is our artist. So on the surface, kind of similar, both within the kind of pop genre broadly, both popular mainstream artists, both reasonably young target audience, but very, very, very different production, very different design, very different layout, very different meaning. So instead of the framing of the shot centered in Katy's case, where she's the focal point of the frame, but there's a lot of colour, there's a lot of blank space on the poster. This shot on the right hand side of Billie, she takes up the entire frame. Now that might seem like quite a small detail, but actually the fact that Billie takes up the entire frame creates meaning. It connotes a sense of power, control, strength, dominance. Pair that with the fact that Billie is making direct eye contact with her. It's an oddly kind of lazy expression, but she's definitely looking at us, and there's a almost penetrating nature to her gaze. And I think that the combination of her taking up the entire frame and looking at us so sternly implies and connotes that she's got maybe a greater message. She's really trying to say something. It's very direct. It's really about communicating with us as an audience. It makes us feel intimidated, but perhaps intrigued as well. If you compare that with Katy is giving off a much more sort of friendly, fun, conventional, energetic vibe, whereas, and that's her brand image as an artist, whereas Billie is much more about making a statement, having something to say, being kind of bolder, stronger identity. Again, if you compare the mise-en-scene in terms of their wardrobe, Katy's very colourful rainbow top that I've spoken about contrasts heavily with Billie Eilish's very, very strong, bold rings there. Really, really big, over-the-top, extravagant jewellery, very bold, sort of the jewellery that you wouldn't consider naturally feminine, I guess because of the size of it, because of how much there is. It almost looks like kind of something like a knuckle duster, like a weapon that you might wear on your hand. There's this sort of sense of sort of protection and strength there. And we also could compare the body language. Katy's body language is really open. She's got her hands spread out like this, inviting, loose, free. Conversely, Billie Eilish's body language is quite closed. She's hiding more of herself, or she's keeping more of herself back. There's a sense of tension in this shot, and a hardness to it that compares with Katy's very sort of loose, free, sort of, there's no issues related to her presentation, whereas Billie Eilish's body language replicates her music. Her music has got a sort of heavier subject matter, and I think you can kind of see that in the body image there. And then we've got the anchorage. Now, anchorage is any verbal codes, anything written on the poster that adds to the meaning. So the anchorage here, we've got Rebel with a Plan. That's the title of the magazine article, the cover article, an interview with Billie, how Billie Eilish became the ultimate case study on shooting to stardom in the streaming era. So Rebel with a Plan's interesting. Obviously the word rebel there, it's in bold. It helps us understand the image because her body language is rebellious, her costume is rebellious, the strength of her pose and her eye contact is rebellious. She is being absolutely presented as a strong, dominant, powerful, unconventional artist. With a plan, again, emphasizes her strength. She's a businesswoman, she's in control, she's powerful again, and again that links to the styling. The use of black and white in the colour palette for Billie Eilish's poster, serious, direct, sophisticated, more grown up compared to Katy's rainbow primary palette, fun, childish, more innocent, more energetic, warmer. So hopefully you can see how the very small details can really create meaning, and you can see how that works in so many different ways. I don't know what unseen text you'll get in your exam. I do this term, but I won't know for the real GCSE. So we have to sort of look at lots of different examples to see how this could be done.